Welcome to EU Privacy for All, Session 44 on GDPR, Independence of the Supervisory Authority, Article 47. As stated by European Parliament, independence of DPA is not contradictory to cooperation and consistency arrangements. Even if not laid down in the final draft, this key logic remains. Also the fact that there is an accountability obligation of transparency regarding the budgetary control. EU Council proposals were almost all taken on board, such as the fact that a member of a DPA shall exercise his power in accordance with the regulation and remain free from external influence, whether direct or indirect, or the fact that human, technical and financial resources, premises and infrastructure necessary for the effective performance of duties of the DPA shall be provided. As suggested by EU Council, the final draft of Article 47 stresses that each supervisory authority shall act with complete independence. It also stresses that members of the supervisory authority remain free from external influence. Additionally, the members of the DPA shall refrain from any action incompatible with their duties. More importantly, each member state shall ensure that each supervisory authority is provided with the human, technical and financial resources, premises and infrastructure necessary for the effective performance of its tasks and exercise of its powers. Moreover, each member state will ensure that each supervisory authority chooses and has its own staff. Finally, member states will ensure that each supervisory authority is subject to financial control which shall not affect its independence, and ensure that each supervisory authority has separate public annual budgets which may be part of the overall state of national budget. A key recital in GDPR is recital 95. It makes really clear that the appointment of members of a DPA by the Parliament, the government, or the head of state shall be totally transparent. Other provisions in the GDPR make a complete independence an essential component of the protection of individuals with regard to the processing of their personal data. The independence of such authority should not mean that the supervisory authorities cannot be subjected to control or monitoring mechanism regarding their financial expenditure or not be subjected to judicial review. It all goes the same way regarding EDPB at EU level. Finally, each member state shall provide by law for the duration of the term of the member or members of each supervisory authority, which shall not be less than 4 years, which is necessary to protect the independence of the supervisory authority. Currently, the directive refers in Article 28 to the obligation for the authorities to act with complete independence in exercising the functions entrusted to them. Additionally, in the end of the same article, paragraph 7, member states shall provide that the members and staff of the supervisory authority, even after their employment has ended, are to be subject to a duty of professional secrecy with regard to the confidential information to which they have access. What should accountable data controllers and processors get prepared for? First, they should identify the one or more independent public authority in charge. Second, they should anticipate what independence means according to national laws, the authorities themselves and their EU counterparts, but as framed by the European Union Court of Justice and national courts, so that protecting fundamental rights and freedoms of EU citizens would be efficient. Stating the obvious, it is also to be stressed that national authorities' independence does not impede cooperation with each other. Of course, each supervisory authority will remain free from external influence, direct or indirect one. And members of the GPA will not, during their term of office, engage in any incompatible occupation. What will be interesting now is digging a little bit more in what independence means and how it will be compatible for each national supervisory authority to tie such an independence, after EUCG Schrems ruling, with the GDPR EU consistent regulation and enforcement approach.